What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Salud Cabrones podcast. I am Danny Villegas.
And I am Javier Ledesma.
And before we get started, we ask you to like, comment, subscribe, and share the Salud Cabrones podcast on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and YouTube. And follow us on all social media platforms at Salud Cabrones podcast. And we want to give a big special thanks to our sponsors, the Law Office of Christopher Hoff and the Taco Villa in Villa Park. Big shout out to Chris and Bear Mysterio. Appreciate y'all, fellas. Javier, man, we have
a fucking celebrity in the house, bro.
Yeah, bro. A celebrity food eater, man. Big time. I've always wanted to talk to a food competitor. I love food, but I just can't.
I know what you mean, man.
Dog it down like that, bro.
I'm a beast when it comes to sitting down and eating food at a high rate, but I don't think I can actually do what he does.
Bro. Like I'm talking about this guy. In 2007, he won Spike's TV Major League Eating Turkey Bowl, eating almost 7 pounds of turkey in 8 minutes.
Oof.
In 2008, he won the World Oyster Eating Championship by eating 35 dozen raw oysters in 8 minutes.
Ugh.
2009, he won the Stroman Sandwich Slam by eating almost 17 corned beef sandwiches in 10 minutes.
Goddamn.
In 2010, he became the World Poutine Eating Champion by eating 13 pounds of gravy and cheese-soaked fries in 10 minutes.
Oh, man. Imagine it coming out.
Oof, man, that's what I was thinking. In 2000, bro, speaking of coming out, dude, imagine this. In 2011, he set the world record by eating 275 pickled jalapenos in 8 minutes.
Dude, he out-Mexican both of us.
He sure did, bro. Oh, my God, dude. Oh, my God, that ass must have been on fire. Man. In 2012, he won the Wild Eggs National Pancake Eating Championship. I love fucking pancakes, but eating 50 king pancakes in 10 minutes?
Damn.
Oh, man. I eat 3 and I'm ready. I'm stuffed.
Everyone that's listening right now, they're all comparing their records. They're like, shit, we ain't shit.
Nah, dude. And then in 2013, he won the Fat Tuesday King Cake Eating World Championship by eating 12 king cakes in 8 minutes.
Jesus.
Man, in 2014, he set the record for most milk consumed by drinking 2.5 gallons in an hour.
Wow.
Dude, I ate a bowl of cereal. I'm running to the bathroom, bro. Yeah, in 2015, he won the Wing Bowl by eating 444 wings in 26 minutes.
That is amazing.
Wow. And, of course, in this year, 2024, he won Nathan's hot dog eating contest by eating 58 hot dogs with the buns in 10 minutes to win the mustard title.
I am all that is man. I'm pretty sure that's what he said right afterwards.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the undisputed Universal Champion, Mr. Patrick Deep Dish Bertoletti.
Hello. You guys have low standards, man. I'm not a celebrity, but I appreciate it.
We do have low standards, by the way. We do.
Nobody knows who I am. My name came back for like 5 minutes, but that's all right, you know.
Man, but kudos to you, bro. That is awesome.
There's a big gap in my eating resume. I took like 8 years off. So.
And what was that for? I saw that you had taken a big gap off.
I done it too long. It was kind of not as much fun. And new guys like Matt Stoney, I want to say he like retired me because he came in and started kicking my ass real bad. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I can't compete with these guys. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty much, you know.
And kicking your ass, like how? Like, because dude, like these records, holy fuck. So like, what is this dude doing? You know, better than what you are.
He kind of caught me at a time when I was just tired and like not motivated, and I just was like, I didn't have the energy to try to keep up with him. And I think that pancake one you mentioned, I was like, I beat him by like half a pancake, and I was so full that I thought I was gonna die. I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Dude, 50 fucking king pancakes, bro.
Yeah.
First of all, how do you even prepare? How do you even train for a food eating competition?
Well, I always say, like, starting out, I always had an above average appetite, and I didn't have to chew my food, so that was it. And I didn't really have a lot of other skills. I wasn't great at sports growing up, so like eating was like my thing, you know.
Yeah.
So then you start with that, and then the speed of eating is the hardest part to get, and I always had that, so I'm not having to chew my food. And then you can stretch your stomach like it's a muscle, so you just drink lots of liquid, and then you just practice with the food. That's all it is.
I was saying, how do you stretch your stomach out? I'm kind of
just volume, a lot of water.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would not recommend it. It's not really the way we do it is not super safe if you don't know what you're doing. You know?
Yeah. So I'm curious. So walk me through when you're training for a food competition. Walk me through like how the training goes.
Yeah, so you'll just chug all the liquid. It'll get your stomach. You really want to get. I think my stomach this year for Nathan's was up holding like 20 to 25 pounds of food and liquid. So the liquid helps, and then you have to do the practices. And I think I did some ungodly amount of hot dog eating practices this past year. Like, it was so many, dude. It's not good.
Because like as you're training for it, like I mean, obviously besides from drinking the water and building your stomach muscles there, I mean, are you downing hot dogs and pancakes as well?
Yeah. So the hot dog, my stomach could hold that much, but you have to build up to it because there's all these other muscles too that are involved, like your jaw, your throat, and your stomach. So they all have to kind of work together. Mm-hmm. And the hot dog practices, I think I was doing 3 a week for like months on end. So.
And how many were you eating? Like
eat like 60, or I think the last practice I did, I ate 70 total.
Holy shit!
So you're doing like a couple hundred hot dogs every week. Yeah.
Are you timing yourself for this practice, or is it just more like a consumption and making sure your stomach stretches?
You're trying to replicate how it's going to be in the competition, and you never make the food great when you practice at home. Like tonight, I have another pancake contest, and I'll make them. They're not going to be good. I mean, I'm a chef, but I'm also really surprised I'm really shitty at making pancakes. They're not all the same size. Like they're not. I don't know.
I know what you mean.
And then you let them sit out. They shouldn't be good because like you're gonna assume that they're gonna be bad, and then if they're good in the contest, then it's just a pleasant surprise,
So tonight you're gonna have practice for it.
Yeah, probably cook off like 40, 45 pancakes.
And you're gonna eat them all.
Yeah.
Man! And how long are you trying to do it for?
So a contest is 10 minutes, so I'll do 10 minutes, and then I'll just keep eating. I always do extra, and then I'll just keep eating until I'm just full and I can't eat anymore.
Oh man!
And I don't really like pancakes, but that doesn't really matter.
So all these records that Danny was basically rattling off here, I'm listening to these foods, and I mean obviously there's probably competitions for everything, right? But how many of these foods do you actually enjoy?
I mean, it doesn't really that part doesn't even really matter,
Because I
don't even really like raw. I don't mind raw oysters, but
that's the one that stuck out.
They can not be great,
Yeah.
So and pickled jalapenos I like, but eating in that type of volume is like difficult. So like you're not really eating it. I say it's like you are technically eating it, but you're not. It's not the full sensory thing where you're tasting it and enjoying it or not. So
you just kind of like
you kind of just turn off your brain that way, and like you might get textures and like. If you're tasting the food, that's not a good thing, you're having a bad day.
Oh, okay.
So
that's
So
interesting.
the key is to not to taste the food, actually.
yeah, which is weird because coming from my background as a chef, like that's the exact opposite. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of weird. But
Man, and before we get into your chef, so then after you do these competitions, do you put yourself through like a detox?
yeah, like people always ask, are you sick or like do you poop like a million times? It's like sometimes you're sick. It just depends on how much food,
Yeah.
And the body can't really process all that food. It's not good for your system,
Oh yeah, I know.
It's obviously horrible. So like you have to do like electrolytes and stuff leading up to, and drinking the water is not great either because it messes up your balance. So you have to be really conscious of that. And and I don't usually gain weight from the food in the contest, but I really like to eat. And when I'm not motivated, my weight goes up because that's just like I'm eating like an asshole all the time.
Yeah.
Because I love food is like my drug of choice.
Yeah.
So
That's like the problem.
take us back a little bit before we get fully into your competitions here. At what point in time, I pictured you as the kid in school that always got dared to eat something.
Yeah.
That was pretty much what it
That
was.
happened a few times. Yeah.
So when was it that you discovered that you had this talent for basically eating an above average amount compared to like your fellow students and maybe your family members and things like that?
I think there was a few times growing up, like I won a pie eating contest at a company picnic when I was like 16 against a bunch of grown men. And then I ate another pie after just like to rub it in everyone's face.
I'm still not
A
done.
miracle lap, or a victory lap pie or whatever,
Yeah.
And then another time, I think I ate 12 hot dogs at lunch in high school. Like they had a barbecue. So that was another good one. And that was on top of my lunch already. So
Jesus.
So
I'm curious. So when obviously you're not competing and you're just normal guy eating, just eating. Now, and when you can actually take your time to eat, because obviously eating in 10 minutes, eating so much in 10 minutes or in 8 minutes, you're going to fill up really quick. So when you're just going to a restaurant, you're just eating regular, normal, how much are you eating there? And, can you eat a lot more because you're actually taking your time and not rushing?
So like if I'm not in eating shape, then it does pretty much go back to normal where I can eat more than normal. But my normal day-to-day eating is like, it's kind of boring there's not a lot of food in my fridge, you know, just lots of salads and it's lame. But when I do go out to eat, which isn't very often with my girlfriend, I like to order everything that looks good.
Okay.
So, that's why I don't go out so often. It's expensive and then just calorically, you know.
So, curious, you mentioned your girlfriend. When did she know what you did? Did she know this was what basically your passion, so to speak? Did she know about that before she met you? I'm curious what her first reaction was when she first saw you eating like a madman.
I don't think she quite knew. And she's from like outside of Mexico City, so she came to Nathan's this year and she didn't really understand. And
you got yourself a Latina, huh?
Yeah, I did.
Oh shit, okay.
And it's even more funny because like that's like the once in a lifetime win for me because I didn't ever expect it. And now she just thinks like that's how all the contests were. I'm like, no, this was like the biggest, you know. So yeah, I kind of explained to her, but I didn't really do a great job explaining to her. Because I don't know, I've done it so long, I just don't even really think that much of it, you know.
So she's Latina. Have you done a taco eating contest yet?
Or enchiladas,
Enchiladas.
or burritos, tortas.
Everything. I would do. I love Mexican food. It's like my favorite. So
Nice.
I did pozole, but it was like in New Mexico. It was more like the.
I saw that. I saw it, and when I was looking you up, you did a pozole contest, right?
Yeah, it wasn't traditional Mexican style. It was like the almost more Mayan style, you know.
Okay.
But it was still pretty good.
And how much did you eat with that?
Not a ton. It was like 9 pounds.
9 pounds.
You know.
I think the jalapeno one gives me the most street cred with the
Latino.
Latinos.
Yeah, bro, 275.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh my god, how do you even prepare for that?
Yeah, that one was rough. I remember having to fly home after that one from like San Antonio, and that was really bad.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I got pretty ill. Like I definitely was sick. And a McDonald's like right around the corner because that's like 15 pounds of peppers. That's a lot.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. So what kind of like effects did you have afterwards?
I mean, I think the main problem, at least when I eat spicy food, it's like the 3 or 4 times after where it just burns, you know, the other way, and then just not knowing, and then what, you know, it just keeps thinking you have to get, you know.
You're right.
So that's the worst.
You guys remember that episode of The Simpsons when Homer eats that crazy ass pepper?
Oh, the Rattler?
Yeah. He's got to put wax on his mouth
yeah.
so he can eat it. Like the whole process. As soon as Danny mentioned that, record of you eating that many peppers, that's literally the thought that came to my mind. Because I know you said you have to block things out of your head when you're like eating, but there's blocking, and then there's obviously your own body telling you things are spicy. And we all know jalapenos are crazy in the idea that you'll get a bunch of duds, but then you'll get that really hot one.
Yeah.
So when you're eating this, are you kind of going like, okay, mind over matter, I'm eating, and all of a sudden there's one that just goes, fuck your mind over matter, I'm spicy.
Well, yeah, I drink chocolate milk, which some of my friends would give me shit for. They're like, you're cheating. But also they are pickled, so like it does build up, but it's just mind over matter. And then I did figure out, like, they stopped doing it, but I figured out a good way where I only had a few incidents after, like with my stomach. So you just do like Pepto, dairy, and then Imodium. Those are like the 3 things.
There you go.
And then you just eat some carbs right away after. But yeah, once I figured it out, then they just stopped doing that.
You just gave the whole world a cheat code.
Yeah. I mean, the Imodium was key, and then I don't know. I drank way too much Pepto back in the day.
People are taking notes right now. Alrighty. Right. This is what we need to do. You heard it here from the eating champion himself.
So when did this start for you?
I think when I was like 18 or 19, I did my first event, which was Chicago. It was Bocce's Pizza.
Ooh. Yep.
I think I tied some professional guy for 3rd, and we had to eat off for 3rd place, which was, so we ate 15 minutes and we tied, and then I almost threw up and died at the end. And then we had to eat another 5 minutes, and then I was so sick after I swore it off. And then what I remember winning like a DVD player, and I'm like, oh, that was cool. So then like, even though I swore I'd never do it again, like 2 weeks later, I was just so dumb. I'm like, let's do it again, and just went from there.
How many did you eat?
You know, like 5 1/4 slices or something.
The big slices, right? The big bocce slices?
Yeah.
Oof, man.
You know, when people like, they always have that term with like, oh, you got a ringer that came in to do, like, for example, if you go bowling, you bring your buddy, like really, really good, right? I'm just picturing you walking into like these places that don't know who you are, and they have those challenge meals. It's like, eat this and whatever it is, and it's free. And you're like, well, gonna eat for free.
Yeah, it's more fun not to tell. I know all the YouTube guys that do it, and they like make a big production of it, but it's funnier not to tell. And also, like, if they know who you are, they might try to fuck with you and make it way bigger, you know?
Yeah.
So
Has that happened to you before?
no, I don't think they've ever really done that where they make it bigger. But also, I don't really do a lot of those because, like, I don't really need a free T-shirt or like a free meal, and a lot of the times the food isn't even that good. So,
That's true.
but back in the day, I have done a lot of it. You know, they are fun. I just don't do it as much anymore. You know.
That's
you
a
said
pro
you're-
already, bro.
Huh?
That's a pro. He's bored with
Yeah.
that's beneath me.
You say you're a chef, right?
Yeah.
And how long you been in culinary?
For about the same time as eating. So I think I started culinary school right out of high school. So like 03. So
Okay.
about 20 years.
Okay. And then obviously, I mean, you being a chef and being a food competitor, is there something that you like what's your favorite dish to cook?
It changes like weekly, but I mean, like I said, I like Mexican food. I like Middle Eastern, but I had a toasty. You've had Toasty Locos, right?
I think so.
Like the walking tacos.
Okay, yeah.
Fancy. I had a restaurant where that's all we did fancy. So for a while, that was like it was just called taco in a bag, but that was like my jam. I love those things.
You have a restaurant?
I did for
Okay.
like 6 years. So.
Okay. Okay. And it's taco in a bag?
Yeah, that's what we call it. So.
Okay. Did you try to see how many bags you can eat?
I never did that, but there were certain days when I just ate way too much. We get the El Milagro tortillas like every Tuesday. I'd cut them up, fry them. So that was like the whole idea. But stuff like that, I love stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
Basically, chilaquiles sometimes too.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
all the same stuff. And then we getting accused of appropriating food. I'm like, you son of a gun! Like I'm paying tribute. You know, there's like a difference. You know,
That's when you show off your girlfriend. We're like, dude, I am not appropriating. Look at this.
I wasn't dating her back then. But I wish I was.
There we go. She gives me the street cred that I need.
Yeah, I know.
And
My
all the
wife's
jalapenos?
white, bro.
And all the jalapenos, that should give you the street
I
cred
know.
right there. You know?
Yeah.
My wife's white. That's how I give her the street cred for that.
Oh yeah. That's the only reason she's one of the.
She's like, oh, tacos it is.
And what kind of peppers do you like to use besides jalapeno? With your
I like a
foods?
lot of chipotle. I think chipotle is probably my favorite.
Yeah?
The powder, yeah, it's good.
Okay.
And the adobo is good too. Yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a wimp with this. I can eat it. Actually, that's a lie. I can't eat it in competition. That's why I won't do those anymore.
Mm-hmm. So like you won't fuck with like no ghost peppers or anything
No,
like
I
that?
will not do that stuff. No.
There is a line.
Yeah.
So you mentioned how sometimes you overeat and you feel like shit. You feel sick. Has any of these competitions or even just training for it, has it ever landed you in the hospital?
I think there was like one time, but I was being an idiot, and I don't even know, like, the diagnosis is like weird, but there are stories of people where like they have gas, but they don't know what it was, and they just went to the hospital and they just like ripped ass or something, So
Stuck fart. It was
The
there
real-
for a while.
the real problem is it's all theoretical stuff. When you hear the stories about how competitive eating and how dangerous it is, it's like the doctors are just speaking out of their ass. They don't really know. So there's like weight gain, and they're like, you could rip your esophagus or you explode your stomach, but that's like never happened,
Mm-hmm.
So
then you taking that big gap off, what made you want to get back into it?
I think it was like 2 years ago. I was just bored, and I was going to go to New York anyways, so I just wanted to come back. But I did so horrible. I think I ate like 35 hot dogs. I was kind of embarrassed. And everyone's like, you did so well for taking the time off. I'm like, I used to be able to eat like 50 of these things, and like, it just was very humbling to come back.
You're become immortal.
Yeah, I was like, man, I suck like everybody else at this.
I'm a normal
Trying to
human
explain
being.
to people like eating 35 or whatever I did was like, I wasn't happy. And they're like, you did so. I'm like, no. And then this year, I kind of knew Joey wasn't going to be there before everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really drink anymore. So I like needed a project. And I'm like, well, this is going to be the year, whether he's there or not. And then turned out he wasn't going to be there. And then I got to step up, so.
How do you feel about winning, having some of the competition that would have given you a run for your money not being there? Do you now feel like you need to defend that when he does?
Yeah, I want him to
back?
come back. I'll be the first to say I don't think I deserve an asterisk for winning, but it's not like I beat him, so it's like not.
Yeah.
In order to be the best, you got to beat the best, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm good friends with him, and I know people are always going to talk shit, like you don't deserve it, but it's like I had no control that he wasn't there. So
Yeah.
like,
It's for example in the NBA, like I hate when people talk about like the asterisk thing. It's like, oh, so and so was dealing with injuries. It's like, hey, dude, this is the name of the game. Like every
Yeah.
team, you got to take care of yourself. Otherwise,
Yeah.
this is what it is. This is what happens. You're still winning that championship regardless.
Yeah, like they liken it to like when Jordan took the year off. And
Yeah.
then, was it the Rockets who won that?
Yeah,
who won
the 2
those?
years.
2
that was
years.
the
Yeah.
Rockets.
Yeah.
So I guess that's pretty comparable. But what are you gonna do? I mean, I don't know.
So when you're prepping for these, like you mentioned that you knew he wasn't going to be at that competition. Do you are there other competitors that you look at? Basically, obviously, they're your contemporaries, right? They're your peers. Are there a few of them that you look and you say, "Shit, man, this person just ended up on this tournament. I really have to up my game if I really want to compete with this guy." Or is that something that you don't even think about? You just are focusing on you.
No, that played into it because there are these two guys. There's Jeff Esper and then James Webb. They're both really good, and I think they're in all the other foods. I mean, I've beaten them recently, but they're really good, and I think they're almost better than me. So I didn't know what they were gonna do this year for hot dogs, and that was just more motivation to like try to keep pushing. And my personal best was like 55, like 15 years ago, and then I was like, man, I don't think I can ever get back to it. And then I was overtraining, and then like I think a week and a half out, I took 5 days off, and then I like did a practice, and I'm like, oh shit, like I finally got to 60, which I didn't think was even possible. So
Wow.
I was really trying to get over that hump, and I was happy that I won, but I was happier that I got a new personal best. To be honest, winning obviously feels good, and but I was happier, like I said, with that other.
Yeah.
So when is this pancake competition that you're training for?
The pancake is like I think November 9th in Las Vegas.
Okay, so coming up, and I know you. I saw that you won before the pancake eating 50.
God, I think about that event, and I still get grossed out.
Really?
Yeah.
So now, are you trying to beat that? Are you trying to beat 50?
I think these are bigger pancakes. I think the sponsor's like Norm's. I have to say, I don't know, some restaurant there. But yeah, the ones from that was like 3.5 ounces, and these are 4 ounces. So
Okay.
I don't imagine. And we were able to dunk then. This time we're not allowed to dunk.
Dunk
So
as far as what meaning?
just dunk it in water.
Oh, okay. Oh, and this time you can't.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just
got to muscle through. And the hard part about the pancakes is there are variables. Like there's not like a standard. So I don't really know how they're going to be in the competition. So I'm using like Bisquick, and I'm like, actually, I bought even the cheaper one at the Restaurant Depot, and they are awful pancakes. They're so bad. Like, you're not supposed to have to. You shouldn't have to rip like.
You're right.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, that'll make them easier in the event.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So now after these competitions, are you going like on a diet to? Because I can only imagine training for it. Like, how long do you train for? Like, how long have you been training for this pancake one?
I think today is going to be like the third or fourth practice. So it all depends on how, like, if I want to win. Obviously, I always want to win, but this one's like $5,000 for first. So like I'm extra motivated to win.
$5,000 for first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the motivation's there, and then it's like I'll probably do all in probably 6 or 7 practices with pancakes.
So okay. So now with 6 or 7 practices, that's weekly or every week? Just
It's like
once a week?
2 or 3 a week.
2 or 3 a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the bookend days, it's like not eating a lot going in and just drinking lots of water.
Okay. All right.
So,
okay.
yeah.
So then afterwards, are you like dieting to like?
Yeah.
I mean, because I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, how much weight are you gaining from training to when you do it?
It doesn't. You don't hold a lot of it because the training with the water helps kind of flush it all out too.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gaining some, and pancakes are extra rough because they're very simple carbs, so they start digesting instantly.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So-
definitely. Oh man, okay. And then after this pancake one, is there another one you're going to train for afterwards? Or are you giving yourself a break?
No, that'll be. I'm sure something else will pop up, but I don't have anything on the calendar. So.
Okay, all right. So then coming in and training for Nathan's hot dog, and you said that's the big one. And
Yeah.
you've done it before, right? And
Yeah.
you hadn't won, and like I know you said that one competitor wasn't there this
Yeah,
year,
Joe,
but you still, you fucking cleaned up and kicked ass in it. Now, now after you did that, were you like, bam, like that's my stamp? That's what I've been fucking trying to get.
Yeah, I mean that was like the one elusive one. Like you guys mentioned Wing Bowl, which was like that's a big event. It's in Philly. They don't do it anymore, but that probably would have been number 2 or number 3 to win. And then this one is like the one. If you win that, then that is like that's the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, I mean, fortunately, unfortunately, they put so much weight in it So yeah, that I never thought I would. I still don't believe that I did that. So it's cool.
Is there one that you haven't won yet that you're like, I need to?
Not anymore. I mean, it would have been the Nathan's one.
It would have been the Nathan's.
But I'm like, Joey's gonna die, and I'm gonna have to like. There's no way he's not gonna be there. So yeah.
So I'm picturing Rocky. Someone's there training with him, kind of pushing him through. Do you have a person that kind of helps you with the training aspect, or is it just you?
You know, that was like the last piece of the puzzle this year. I refused to let my girlfriend watch me because I'm like, you're never gonna want to fuck me if you see me eating this like again. Yeah. Like, I'm like, no. I like make her go in the. You watch TV, turn the music up or volume if you're not watching me.
Why are you making sex noises in the kitchen?
But the last 2 practices, I had people like come and encourage me. Joey, this time around, I was like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win. So like Joey's like, I always have somebody yelling at me, and I'm like, I guess I can see that, but I just never did it. But the last 2 practices, I was like, I brought people in to help me. So I don't know if it helped or not, but you know.
You brought your own Mickey. Come on, Rock.
Yeah.
Save some of that for the sequel.
I think it helped. I don't know. It's like Joey just does. He'll do whatever it takes to win, and that's the attitude you need. What I needed. So that's what I was.
When you
missing
talk to
before.
these guys that are like champions, and you know they're notorious for what they've done. What kind of are you guys talking strategy? Or do you kind of like keep things to yourself so you're not giving something to your competitors? How is that that realm of that world? Because for example, we mentioned we're pro wrestlers, right? So the idea is we have our peers and we talk. We always share kind of insights of how to do things better. We're trying to make everyone better. Is that something that happens within that world?
Yeah, I mean, Joey's been very free with all his information, and I owe him a lot because like he figured out some training methods like with the water that he shared with me, and I'm like, but for him, he's very he shares it with everyone that wants the information, but a lot of the people just want a shortcut, and I'm like, there's no shortcut to this. Like, it sucks. You have to put in the work. And for him personally, I think he doesn't care because he knows he's always going to win. So like he has that cockiness. In that, but there are other eaters. Yeah, we talk about it. And like the James Webb guy, he's Australian. He's so good. I'm like, we can talk about it, but I'm not going to tell you everything because he's just so good. You know.
Yeah.
He's a very good natural eater.
Ugh,
so
man, it's just crazy to think that you're in there. I feel like maybe that's one of those worlds. At least this is what I would imagine, that you don't want to give out your secrets.
Yeah, I mean it's all pretty well known stuff, but I think that's the only guy that I don't think I shared everything because he's so good that I'm like
you feel like you're giving him an edge. Huh?
Yeah, it's like I want the edge I have. What
was I gonna say? What besides your girlfriend? What do your parents think?
God, I feel bad for my parents and shit I put them through. They were excited for me to do the eating because I got recognition, and then they're like, all right, this is cool. And then they're like, all right, when are you done with this? And then I was done with it, and then I just came back, and then they were all there this year because they knew I had a really good opportunity, so that was really cool. And I think they're hoping maybe I'll do one more year, and I think that's the goal. We'll see what happens next year with Coney Island on 4th of July. So.
And how many do you normally do a year?
I think the peak, I did like 40 one year, which was a lot.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
40 in 1 year?
Yeah, that was a lot. But there's like ebb and flow with the sponsors and like the eating competitions themselves. It's like, I don't want to say it's antiquated, but it's not like it used to be where it's a lot of money to do them, the prize money, and like the online thing is just taking it over,
Yeah.
YouTube and stuff. So.
I see that. I called you a celebrity earlier on when you first came in. And you're like, oh, I'm not really a celebrity, but you went out. They brought you out to the baseball game, so you can.
The fire. The fire. Yeah,
fire.
yeah.
Thank you. You out there. You were hanging out with our boy Gabe.
Ramirez.
Yeah. So now you're afforded these moments where you're being put into a spotlight, and I see you run around town. You got your belt on your shoulder and everything.
It's a badass belt, by the way.
I got it in the car. So
did you really?
Yeah, I did bring it. Yeah.
Bringing it in.
Oh man,
we're bringing it in.
So that is just a very interesting sight. Like let's say I'm a customer at a restaurant, and here you walk in to just like say maybe just do an appearance or whatever it is, right? There's like the idea of Michael Jordan getting these endorsements. I know that has to come to that as well. Now you're getting paid to go out and do these things. Man, you're a celebrity.
I mean, it's surreal. Actually, I was having pizza with my friend, and I brought the belt for him because he never. Yeah, I'm not that well known, but it is kind of crazy. I've gone through all this stuff before, where I was even more recognizable because I used to have a mohawk, and now
I
like
saw that picture.
yeah.
yeah, now people don't. They still don't really know who I am, but I like that because it's like I can tell them, and then they're like, oh yeah, you are the guy. But it's kind of when I hang out with Chestnut, it's like he gets recognized all the time. So
So,
it's
you
got to be
mentioned
annoying for him. I feel bad for him. Oh, and back. Sorry, I didn't answer your question. Like I only do like 5 or 6, maybe 8 events a year now,
It's okay.
so not nearly as many.
Right.
So
Easier on the body.
yeah, if it's decent prize money, then I'll do it. But I'm not gonna go somewhere for. Not even because I'm cocky, but I'm like I don't enjoy. I like the competitions, but I don't love it as much. So it's more work these days, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And how old are you?
39.
39. So you've been training since you were 16, 17?
Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. So
Yeah.
just don't have the energy. Energy is not finite. I used to have unlimited, but now it's just you're like, man, I can't do it.
Yeah,
the way-
right. Because I was saying,
Yeah.
have all these competitions throughout these years, have they had any kind of effect on your body?
The only thing I could say is like the heartburn. I got to take Prilosec every day. So, but I think when I'm eating like an asshole, it's it's pretty manageable.
Yeah.
You know? It's mostly just my normal diet is the problem.
So, Danny, you remember these stories. We always get a laugh at the idea of pro wrestlers going through the airport because they always talk about not necessarily just getting recognized, but when they're champions, they got their belt in their luggage.
Yeah.
And they have to go through security, and it goes off beep beep beep, and then there are TSA bringing out the belts. Something like that when you're a world champion is kind of hilarious. It's fun. But you're a world champion in a completely different world. Has that gone off?
Oh,
and
yeah,
have
that's
they
happened.
brought it out?
Yeah.
The guy's like, "What are you?" The last time the guy was like, "Are you a wrestler?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're just gonna go with that." Or they do pull it out. Actually, yeah, it is funny. And then I tell them, but I'm not Joey, so the people don't even like really process it. So.
Now, has that always been the prize for them as a belt for Nathan's? Yeah.
Back in the original ones were kind of crappy. Like I didn't keep a lot of the belts from before because like they were like homemade. They're like weightlifting belts that they just like repurposed.
Because the one you got is nice.
Yeah, the one I have is like really nice.
Yeah.
You get to keep it so every year.
Nice.
Joey has so many of them that he's gotten drunk and lost like a few. I think he's lost like 2 or 3. So he's like, man, I was at a billionaire's like Coney Island party and I think he stole my belt. And then I'm like, that's like when Putin stole whatever the guy's Super Bowl ring. Remember?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a good story. Like he totally forgot that it happened. Joey forgot.
That's
So
freaking hilarious.
So now, do you winning the title with that? Do you have to compete every year now? Since you got the title, or
I don't have to do anything, but I get a bye, so I don't have to qualify.
okay,
So that's like the cool part.
okay,
So
dude, that's awesome.
and
Yeah,
I'll definitely be for sure next year. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll see. I'm always open. Like when you guys invited me, I'm like, hell yeah, like podcasts, and I love the median, and you never know with people in relationships. Like,
yeah.
so like why say no? It's like I have the time, so it's like stupid.
And this
not
is
to, you know?
the random things that your job, so to speak, your profession has afforded you now.
Yeah,
you know?
it's cool. I'm sure people don't want to hear what I have to say, but it's like I'll say it. You know.
That's not entirely true because it's funny because I told people, I'm like, hey man, so we're getting this guy Patrick. He's the champion hot dog eater. This and that. There's a few people that when I said that to him, they were like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's gonna be on the podcast, man." He's like, "Oh my god!" We've had names in here that are relatively famous, and we've had just average Joes. And I kid you not, your reputation literally like got people excited to hear this particular episode. They're like, "Man, we can't wait to hear it."
It had to be a Chicago guy to win this year. It's like the other guy's from Boston and the other dude's Australian. I'm like, it can't be one of those guys. Chicago
Right.
It's such a big city, but it's not at the same time Chicago,
How many other Chicago competitive eaters are there?
I don't think there's any, like maybe a few smaller guys in there. There's not really a ton.
So you're the flag bearer of Chi-Town.
And the crazy thing about it is like I never thought I'd be back doing this, and then to win is like crazy, but like this is all just so surreal because I've done it all before, and it's just like I can't believe I'm doing it. I never thought I'd come back to doing it. I didn't want to do it, but I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Is there a competition that you just refuse to join just because the food may be just insanely gross or whatever, for whatever reason you're just like, no, that's not me. I'm not doing that one.
I think it's just the spicy stuff is like I won't do, and then there are foods like, this was a long time ago. They did peanut butter and jelly, and I'm like, how do you? I did a practice. I'm like, I'm gonna eat like 90 of these because I think I did 20 in like a minute and something. And then you get there and you're like, they put it on the wrong bread. It sat out for so long, and it was like toasted, and it was like the grossest. It's always amazing how people will screw up the food. And it's not even really their fault; they just don't know.
Because I saw that. I saw the peanut butter
Yeah.
jelly.
Oh my god, that was like the worst.
I love peanut butter and jelly, but now when I saw, I forgot how much you ate. But I'm like, damn, I can only eat one, and I'm fucking full.
It's like 42 in 10 minutes, but that was like heavy and like
Yeah.
the worst peanut butter and jelly sandwich you can even imagine. You know.
Ugh.
So
Imagine all that peanut butter just sitting. Dude.
Oh,
that
yes.
shit ain't fucking going nowhere.
I think I drank like 2 gallons of liquid plus like another 10. It was a lot. Yeah.
Walk me through some of like the road stories where you and all your competitive eating buddies are just kind of hanging out when there's no competitions, no cameras, no nothing, and it's just you guys.
It's dangerous. It's surprising that no one's died of alcohol poisoning. No bullshit. All right. The most recent one that I'm really excited to tell you is I don't know what this guy's. I think his name's like Donnie Deutsch. He's like a beer chugger. He goes around and he chugs beers like for a living. You seen it? He'll drink it in like 1 second. You know.
Really? I gotta look this guy up.
Yeah. So like
that old man from the Man
from the
Show.
Yeah, that's where he got inspiration. The Fox. Yeah, that guy. So I don't drink anymore. So I volunteered to chaperone Joey Chestnut at the Indiana game. He's probably not gonna let me tell him the story, but he gets blasted at the game, and I drive him back, and then I made sure that we hooked up with that guy because I've been a real big fan of that dude, and we meet up at a bar. Like him and that dude are just fanboying on each other, and I swear they both drink like 15 Guinness, like no bullshit, just back to back. And Joey was mad because I was like, dude, you can totally beat him, but I knew
You're egging him on.
I was like, he's not gonna. It was close. I'm like, I thought you might get him one time, but yeah, he was like 0 for 15, and it was just. Yeah, stuff like that. It's just we like to drink as much as we like to eat. So
I was just thinking that it was literally the process
It's
in my
not
head,
good.
like
I was gonna say too, like especially you and your boys, you guys are all food competitor eaters. Are you like, you know what?
extending the stomach.
Let's see
is
who
just-
can drink the most and how in a short
Yeah.
period of time.
yeah,
Has you guys ever done? You guys done that?
yeah. There was a place in San Jose that me and Joey did where they would sell gallons of beer, and we raced for that. And I think I beat him like 2.5 minutes for a gallon of beer. But it's just
Does
it's crazy.
Everyone always talks about like when you're out drinking, certain foods like soak up the alcohol, whatever it is, and like you'll prolong, being hammered. For you guys, what you do, does it prolong your, being
Tolerance?
sober, your tolerance? Does it make it better with all that stuff that's in there?
It's weird because depending on how much you eat, but it just messes up your balance. So you'll be fine, but a lot of times in the beginning, I try to get drunk, and I wasn't doing it the right way, and I just would get sick at the bar. Like I'd end up puking in like the garbage can or something, So it is hard to get drunk after, So.
I can imagine the amount of puke coming out after a drunken night with one of them. Ooh.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. Well, he says he's not drinking no more. Maybe
Yeah, I
that's
know,
why.
but I'm saying
That was kind of the reason.
that's gnarly, man. The idea of you doing this, and now you've told us about your parents and your girlfriend seeing you do all this. Your friends? We had a guy come in here where he's a relative like social media celebrity, and he told us a story about his friends using him to hook up.
Oh, to get laid or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Oh
things
yeah.
like
Oh
that.
good.
So now, you being who you are, you're out hanging out with your friends. What kind of stories are your friends putting you through? What kind of things are they like? Hey, you know what? I just bet this guy $100 that you can beat him. He doesn't know who you are. Blah
Oh.
blah. I'm pretty sure that your talent is insanely unique, and I would exploit the shit out of if you were my friend. That's what I'm saying.
that used to happen, but it would just mostly be drunk. It wouldn't even be my friends. It's just drunk guys at the bar, like trying to challenge you to stuff, So, and not drinking. I'm so lame these days. I have 2 dogs and a girlfriend. And I don't really do much like that. So, too old and too tired to do any of that. But that stuff used to happen all the time. back in
Walk
the
me
day.
through your favorite bar story of some asshole challenging you.
I think the best was I don't have a lot of confidence or like I'm still kind of introverted. And like one time we were at the bar and they were replaying some competition that I had gotten second in. And I told the guy next to me and I like pointed and I'm like, hey, I got He's like, yeah, nobody gives a fuck for second, whoever gets second place. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I'm like, the one day I had enough confidence to bring it up to somebody and then he just totally put me in my place. So, I loved it.
You got humble real
If
quick.
you're not
Huh?
first, you're last.
It was basically that. I'm like, wow, okay, well, I'm not going to ever do this again. So,
It's insane the idea that you putting someone down at second place where they're still massively superior to what you could do, right?
Yeah.
You know, and say that.
It's basically I got trolled, like internet trolled, but in real life. That's why it was so good. Yeah. Well, I got a lot of shit for winning this year because Joey wasn't there. But like I said, it's like it wasn't my choice, you know.
Yeah, I told one of my buddies.
A lot of hate.
Definitely a lot of hate because I told one of my buddies that you were coming on, and then he goes, "Well, he's not the real champion," and then I go, "Yeah, that other guy didn't compete." Hey, guess what? When Jordan wasn't there, kind of the same scenario.
I can't control it.
Can't control it. But I just find it funny that you said you got a lot of hate because I'm like that is true. I'm like I literally had a conversation with someone and that was the very first thing
exactly
they said.
Right.
And I'm like,
paper champ or like whatever the titles are. It's like, all right, dude, like. So I should just go kill myself? Like I shouldn't exploit or promote that I won because like what am I supposed to do?
At the end of the day, you're carrying that belt.
Yeah.
There's no lie. You beat everyone that was put in front of you, and that's it.
I mean, the good thing is it's extra motivating because if he's going to come back next year, then I don't know that I don't think I could do 70. His record is 76, which is like when people are like, "What's the record?" And I'm like, I did 58 and he did 76, and it is a little. It's not embarrassing, but he just is so good that whatever eating 58 used to mean that's still a lot of hot dogs, but in context with him, it just doesn't seem as much, you know.
Do you think
it makes it look so easy?
And what kind of love did you get back from Joey after you won?
He did give me love, but before he wasn't giving it up because he's like I didn't think he could do it. So that was the thing. I always talked the big game, and I would do better in practice. And like I said before, I was just so happy that I got over the hump and got to my personal best. But these are all things that I should have done like 10 years ago that took me that long to figure out, you know.
What'd you think of that Netflix special?
It was good. I was there. I helped him train the last few practices, and I may or may not have won some money betting on Joey to win. So,
Take a dive.
well, that's what I wanted to do. Come back and just let me beat him, and then we can.
Oh, there's a Netflix special on it?
No, there was like
there was Netflix. Him and Kobayashi.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
what do they do? They just show up.
It was good. I mean, it was kind of sad because I like grew up idolizing Kobayashi, and he just got his ass beat. So and it wasn't really close. Joey blew him out by like 15. I think Joey did 84. Granted, they were smaller hot dogs and easier to eat, but still, like, he still probably would have been right at his record. So.
Yeah. Do you think you could take Kobayashi?
I think probably now, but we'll see. He's amazing. He's great.
I remember that he's the name that I associate
with
the
that
guy. Competition.
Yeah.
Growing up and finding out that there was such a thing as a hot dog eating competition to me, I remember like I had like ESPN and it was like I can't remember what channel it was. It was like ESPN 2 or 3 or something, and they aired it. And I remember going like, how is this even on ESPN?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And the very first notable person that comes out was that Kobayashi, and I was like, this dude is amazing.
Yeah, like Major League Eating, who does all the events, like they were doing that event forever, and then he came along and like they don't like to hear that it's all because of him, but a lot of it is due to him because he came around and he doubled the record, and they were there at the right place, right time, and they were smart enough to realize they could market him. So they are marketing geniuses, but Kobayashi is really do a lot for competitive eating, is being looked at. I don't really know if it is a sport, but it's a competition and it's difficult, you know. So sport is such a loose term. It's like porn star is another one, or just celebrity. It's like I don't know.
So when you won and you got home, you're sitting there. What's the first phone call that comes to mind?
I think my phone blew up, man. It was really.
I can imagine.
I have the worst anxiety if I don't reply to people because I hate when people do that to me. That I spent like a couple hours, and the problem is when you text somebody back, then you get more texts back. Yeah. So I was like, it took me like a couple of weeks to just like try to get through it all. But I know my dad called me and he said he was proud of me, but. I mean, my family's still together, but it was funny because he thought I was going to want to drink. I didn't actually drink after to celebrate. He's like, you're going to want to drink? I'm like, no, I don't want to drink because if I was drinking this whole time, I would have never won. So, like, it didn't even cross my mind, you know. But it was just kind of a nice victory lap to all the hard work. And I'm not used to shit going that well for me, like training, having a goal, and, like, doing it. So, still, it's never worked out that well for me. I'm waiting for the ball to crash.
Drop? Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for. So
where do you keep your title at home? Do you have a special spot for it? Or
No,
you just,
it's in a bag.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I should keep it in the safe, but I don't care.
I would
Put it at the restaurant right when you're cooking. You're like right there. It's
I should just wear it all the time.
I was just about to say that, dude. For all the haters that are giving you shit, I would go full on heel mode and just fucking use
I
that
love a
belt.
heel, yeah.
Use that belt to your advantage and just start making just
Imagine
obnoxious
that,
videos with the belt.
Imagine that dude that said, "Oh, second place," and you just go, just open up.
Dude,
the
I would be posting all kinds of videos on social media, like just everywhere with the belt on and shit. Even in the shower, fucking
the
you got it
shower's
around
a
your
good-
yeah.
yeah.
You're taking a shower, you got the belt around your front here, and just like
I thought it'd be funny if you like try to go through the security with it under your shirt or something. That'd be a good video, you know.
dude, just be fucking obnoxious with it, bro. Seriously, go full on heel mode with this
Yeah,
shit.
I love a good heel.
Do it. Yeah.
What's the number one thing that's popped out since winning the Nathan's Championship, as far as like endorsement and things like that? That you're like, oh wow, this is kind of cool. Like I won, and now I'm here.
I think I got to do the Kevin Hart show. That was pretty cool.
I
You
did?
did
See that.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. It was some like Olympics thing. I don't know. It was crazy because like the league is our managers, but I didn't get anything from that. It's just all people just reached out to me directly. So
Yeah.
So you were on Kevin Hart's show?
yeah, his Olympic show
No
with
shit.
Keenan. That was cool. I ate like escargot.
Damn.
That was okay. But I think that was probably the biggest one. I've just done interviews. Like I don't turn any of them down. I think the only ones I turned down were like Sirius XM because I'm like, I don't have the time or the energy to do it. But all the stuff here and that was cool. You know, the going to the fire was pretty cool. Getting to shoot hot dogs into the crowd. That was fun.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you shoot him into the
They
crowd?
rigged up like the t-shirt cannon to put hot dogs in there.
No shit. And
Yeah,
you shot him out?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
That thing was scary, man. They gave me really vague instructions, and then it's high powered, like pressurized air. And my you could see me on the jumbotron, and my family was there, and they're like, "You look really nervous." I'm like, "I didn't want to kill somebody with like the air cannon thing. That thing really scared me."
Imagine so.
Take it off.
But like I said, this is the second time around, so I've done all that stuff before. So like it's all fun, and I realized that this might not happen again. You know, so I was taking advantage of all this
I was
stuff.
gonna say ride it, right?
Yeah, I was riding it.
Ride
so,
the wave, man.
Yeah.
Ride the wave.
So
What
how
else
much
can you do?
How much longer can you see yourself doing this for?
A couple more years.
Yeah.
I think the goal was like, I did YouTube like in 07, I think it started, and I just kind of stopped. So like, there is a way to make money doing that moving forward. So I guess that would be like the move. I don't really like doing it, but I need to.
You might as well cash in, man.
Yeah.
Are there any competitions overseas? Anything that you haven't done?
I've done stuff, but it's mostly just. So I did raw eggs on America's Got Talent like a long time ago.
Really?
And so there's like a circuit where I've done it in 3 different countries, and yeah, so stuff like that. We did something in Thailand. I was the ambassador for 7-Eleven in Australia forever ago. So there is like travel opportunities for sure.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You know, these are
That's the best part. Those weird experiences. You're like, I can't believe I got to go to Romania and drink like raw eggs. And,
Well, I said, sounds like you've done a lot of great things that you've experienced.
yeah, there's a lot of cool shit I always
Yeah.
forget about. It's like, oh, I did do that. So like, yeah, I say I'm lucky, but I did put in the work, and just being open to doing stuff and just being not being an asshole. I guess I think it's a helpful trait, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
You can go far without being an asshole.
yeah, if you're easy to work with and like positive, and like I'll do anything, you know. So
That's insane to think that this profession has taken you around the globe
yeah,
just because you're great at eating. You know, it's awesome.
yeah, it's almost it really is the American dream, you know. I think that it's crazy. Like, who would have thought you can monetize like YouTube? That's like the new American dream.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
It's like damn. So
And so right now you're working as a chef.
yeah,
Okay. And where are you working at?
I work at it's called Food for Thought. It's a catering company in Lincoln Woods. So
Okay.
yeah,
In Lincolnwood.
yeah.
Okay.
It's just like they come in for event tastings, and me and my coworker just make the food nice for them and try to sell them on the event. So
Yeah. Has there ever been thoughts about opening up another restaurant?
no,
No.
never again.
I heard it's
It's very brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
we
is
had
really hard.
taco in a bag, like I think I mentioned earlier, and it's
Yeah.
just it's a lot of work, man. It's
Mhm.
stressful, and I think that's part of the reason I don't drink anymore, because like the way I was coping with that was just drinking heavily every night, just whatever, turn my brain off, and then just
Mhm.
I have one of those. I don't know if I have addictive personality, but you can see it through my eating. So I like to drink the same way. So it's like
Mhm. How long has it been since you haven't drank?
a year and a half.
Oh, good for you.
I had a
Yeah.
buddy of mine who had an addictive personality. He used to do drugs and alcohol. And when he went clean, he was sober. It's interesting what how his mind worked because he needed another outlet.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
got really big into like eating super healthy and working out, which was great. But then you would see him and he would get like really stressed out when he wasn't in the gym.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And it was like weird. It's like, like
Yeah,
you're
it's crazy.
channeling your addictive personality into
Yeah,
that.
it's like you pick something that's slightly less unhealthy for you.
Yeah.
So I'm searching for I guess the eating was the thing, but I'll have to figure something out when I quit that. But it just, I don't know. I always point at like if I was still drinking, I would not have won Nathan's. So
How do you let's say tomorrow's your last competition? How do you picture that going? Whether you win or lose, what do you want to be remembered for?
I think that's a good question. I think just being memorable in general. People. I've done a lot of crazy shit. Like it would have been my last hot dog contest like 10 years ago. I wore like a Speedo. So I was very proud of that, although the broadcast edited it out.
Dude, I swear, I feel like I probably remember that.
It was like an American flag Speedo thong. So like, so stuff like that where you wear costumes. And back to being a heel, like I loved Andy Kaufman, who was a great wrestling heel.
Oh man, now we're talking about language.
His alter
man.
ego, Tony Clifton. One year I dressed as him. So like just goofy shit. Because competitive eating is very similar to wrestling, but just not with as much fun or fanfare.
Mm-hmm. Tell
like,
me, bro, you go full heel mode.
It's so boring to watch people eat. So like when you can try to do like weird, random shit that's entertaining, then that's what you want to do. But people aren't really doing it as much. They take the eating part way too serious.
What did you do when you did Tony Clifton?
I had the whole suit and stuff, and I ate in that, and that was that was my personal best. So I ate in the tuxedo at 55. Like I don't know how many years ago that was.
How was the tuxedo afterwards? Was it just wrecked?
It wasn't as bad as you think. Yeah.
I love me some Tony Clifton, man.
He was great, man.
Where did the name Deep Dish come from?
Just Chicago. I don't even tavern style wouldn't be as good of a name, although I prefer that. I think we all do. Right?
Tavern style.
Yeah, tavern
I
cut.
agree. I prefer a nice like crisp.
We don't eat deep dish. I haven't. I mean, we do, but it's rare.
Yeah, I think every Chicagoan does like a rare moment where they go deep dish because we always assume that that's what we're known for. Like I love deep dish. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But on average, we're doing tavern style all the time.
Yeah, it's like if you're a boxer, you have to have a dumb nickname, and they were trying to give me one. I'm like, I'll just do this. Deep dish makes sense.
What iconic Chicago food is your favorite?
I think the hot dog.
The hot dog?
Yeah.
What's your go-to? Is it just ketchup?
I don't mind ketchup on a hot dog, but
Chicago, no ketchup.
I know you're not supposed to, obviously, but I don't care anymore.
Man, I put ketchup on my hot dog.
Yeah, I know you do.
I like mayonnaise.
Yeah.
You guys probably like
Taylor Swift.
mayonnaise. Do you guys like mayonnaise on hot dogs?
No.
I've never actually tried it on a hot dog.
I thought that was big with the Latinos. putting it on there.
I had a hot dog in Mexico once, and I got stuck on this for a while. They put chopped tomatoes. They put sour cream, but the sour cream wasn't thick. They like watered it down with milk.
Oh, like yeah.
And then they put mustard in it. It was literally just mustard, sour cream, and tomatoes. And it was so delicious.
Sounds good.
You know what? I'm sorry. I lied. I have tried it on a hot dog, but we didn't use the bun. We used the tortilla.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
What is it? What's that called? Tijuana style.
Yeah, so we get a tortilla. We put the mayo on it.
That's really
roll
good.
It, roll it up in the hot dog,
Yeah.
and man,
It's good.
Ooh, good.
I love hot dogs, man. I don't really have a favorite place anymore. I love Hot Dogs. That was like my favorite restaurant
Oh,
ever.
hot dogs, yeah.
But there's a lot of like good hot dogs. There's a lot of mediocre. And they always make that argument, even when pizza's bad, pizza's like sex. No, it's like there's a lot of really shitty pizza.
I agree.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
There's a lot of really shitty taco places in Chicago too. And
Mhm.
like hot dogs, there's some not great ones either. So
You
it's
mentioned botchies earlier. I think I went a whole summer one year, like just eating a whole lot of botchies to the point that I got sick on it. And now whenever I eat botchies, I'm like, oh, this is gross.
yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's okay if you're drunk. It's better, and if
Yeah.
it's fresh. But
Because you see it and you're like, yeah, fucking big ass slice. It's something about it that just kind of.
it used to be $5. I wonder it's probably like double that now.
Who knows?
And you got
Oh,
like
nowadays, yeah.
you got like a 10-ounce free soda,
Yeah.
like generic bootleg soda, whatever the
yeah,
hell it was.
fucking
like
RC.
Yeah. Diet, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So someone like
Nasty
you,
as shit.
Someone like you, for example, I turn on my social media and I follow a lot of the foodies in Chicagoland. You know, there's a lot of fun ones, and they're out there. They have a good name. They're recognized. I feel like someone like you, if you were to start something like that, you'd like smash each and every one of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to navigate that right now and just figure it out. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because
That'll get there. That's the goal.
you remember when the old man versus food thing
Oh
was
yeah,
happening?
yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Like I could see something like that with you going to these places and just smashing their records or whatever, but obviously going in there and giving the history and all that and enjoying the meals for what they are because of your culinary background.
Yeah, I think that's the goal, is to bridge like the cooking and the eating part and to figure out how to do it. And they always say with those videos, like the challenges I could do, but I don't really. That's what all my friends do, but I'm kind of bored with that stuff, you know.
You've conquered.
Yeah,
Just be your next challenge.
The problem is you can try to go really fast, but nobody wants to eat. Nobody cares how fast you do it because you're going to eat gross. See, that's like the problem.
Yeah.
I just did one at Lucky's, like posted a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, that was gross, man. But I wanted to break the record, so like I don't know. Nobody really wants to watch that though. So yeah.
What was the non-competitive, but what was the like meal that you've tasted here in the Chicagoland area where you went, oh my God, it's like I feel full, even though you know yourself that you could have eaten a lot more, but it was just kind of
So
gross.
good. Oh, it was gross or good?
The reason I ask is I was just out in Iowa, and I went out to see Slipknot at their at their home base, and we ended up at this burger joint called Zombie, and they had a burger that instead of patties had deep fried mac and cheese buns.
Oh.
So, boom, it was like that in the middle, and I was like, well, I got to try this shit because this is not something that I see back home. Typical mac and cheese burger you'll see back home, but nothing like this, right? So I ordered it, and like I said before, I'm a pretty good eater, so I'm devouring this thing. I couldn't finish it. It was so thick, you know, it was just like, it just fell so heavy that I just assumed that I was going to just rock this thing, and at the end, I was just like, I felt like shit. Was there ever a meal that conquered you like that, where you were like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be this big eater, but here it is. This meal just kicked my ass.
It wasn't anything here. I was all excited to go to this restaurant in Quebec, and I was like really sick, and I couldn't eat any food. And we ordered like everything in the menu, and the waiter's like, "That's going to be too much." I'm like, "I got this," and then he was so right. I couldn't eat any of it. So stuff like that. The challenges, I think I've only failed a couple, but I think I was always just sick or. I did do one called Eagles Deli in Boston. That was like, I ate it all, but I was so full and grossed out. That was really bad. So.
It's hilarious that a waiter tried talking you out of something. He's like,
yeah, but he didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. You mentioned El Milagro tortillas earlier. Have you ever had their tacos?
Oh, yeah.
So you know how big those things are.
Yeah, I had their tacos like 2 weeks ago. They're so good.
That's
the best steak.
good.
That's my favorite steak taco in Chicago.
I think it is mine too. My dad has a story where he came to the United States and he had Milagro tacos when he was like, you know, I don't even know how long ago, but he always loved taking his friends there, and he showed up, took his cousins there one time, and one of the guys was really hungry, and he goes, "Hey, let me get 5 tacos," and he's like, "You don't want that." And he goes, no, I'm really hungry, man. I got to have these. And here is talking people out of it. And he's like, you don't understand how big these things are. He's like, no, I want them. So sure enough, this person ordered an insane amount of tacos. And have you ever had Milagro tacos, Danny?
Yeah.
They're ginormous.
Yeah.
You know, they're huge.
Probably like 10 or 12 ounces each.
Yeah. It's insane, the idea that you can eat all this. But anyhow, I tell that story because it's funny to me that someone tried talking you eating something and you're like, yeah, let me just get the whole menu. It's hilarious.
Then they were right. That was like the worst part. I was so humbling because I've been wanting to try this restaurant. It was like a foie gras poutine. It was like some blood sausage tart. But I wanted to go to this place for years, and I get there and I can't even like enjoy it. You know.
So what's next, man? What's next for you? I know you're training for this pancake eating contest, but what's after that, man? What's things you would like to accomplish? What's some goals you like to hit?
I think the goal is just like the social media and like the YouTube stuff. I think that's what I'm going to focus on. You know, I guess that would be like building the personal brand up, and all my friends are heavily monetized. I'm like, I think I could do that, and It just sucks. It's kind of cool now because I'm building it, but it's kind of sucks that it's so out in the open. Because normally when you're building something, you can kind of do it a little bit quietly.
Yeah.
So like my videos now are not great, but we're working on it.
Telling you, bro.
So that would be it.
Go on heel champ mode. Telling you.
I do love a good heel.
There you go.
We did I think it was when the Blackhawks were playing the Flyers, and I went heel with them. They don't have a sense of humor about that stuff. They do not like it. So it is always fun to be hated. And back to that wing bowl thing, if you're an out of towner, they hate you. And the contest is like in the hockey stadium, and they do parades and you do floats. And yeah, that was the year I think we had. I think the rivals are the Cowboys as well. So like we had the Cowboys flag, and they were just throwing shit over the hockey ice at us. It was great.
Were you rocking a Blackhawks jersey during this, or what did you have that showed off that you were from Chicago?
I think it was well known because we were out of towners, and I think we had some guy dressed as Kim Jong Un. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know where all this stuff came from, but I'll have to show you guys a picture where I'm flicking off the crowd, and then there's all the drunk people in the crowd giving me the finger. So
there you go.
I think heel is a good.
See, you got the heel in you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, the best was like back to how people were hating me for winning and Joey not being there, but I'm just like, Joey who? I don't even know who this Joey guy you're talking about is.
Just keep going. Yeah.
I'm like, he's obviously a good friend of mine, but I'm just, if they're going to give you that shit, then how do you even respond to it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't give them you just have to fuck with them back.
That's it, dude.
Are you cutting a promo, since you mentioned old school wrestling, are you cutting a promo right after you won this? What is it?
No, I feel like I'd be so bad with those promos.
So the interview after you won, what did you say?
My only goal going in was to reference something Joey said. Have you guys seen that video when he's obviously very inebriated, and the girl asked him if he eats pussy the way he eats hot dogs? Have you seen that video?
No, I want to see it now.
Yeah, he's like, I don't stop eating until the job's done. So I obviously had to quote that in
Wow.
in the live interview. But that was it, you know.
Dude, that is awesome. I want to see that video now.
It's really bad. It's like the original Hawk Tour video.
It's the original Hawk Tour
He's so
video?
fucked up in the video, and I felt really bad for him because I thought he got in trouble with his fiance, but it was fine.
It's a character, baby.
That's it, man. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, it was bad.
It's a heel character for you, bro. There you go.
I like it.
Start being obnoxious with
I'm
the
not
with
a
the belt.
baby face, that's for sure.
Dude,
It's a lot more fun to be a bad guy.
It's way more fun to be hated.
Dude, start being
Because they're going to hate you anyways. At least.
Exactly. So start being a lot more obnoxious with that title,
Yeah,
bro.
okay. I
Seriously,
appreciate that.
Do
That's
that.
good. Yeah.
Fuck, even walk around with
Live up.
sunglasses, just be an asshole with it, man.
Yeah. Who are you guys' favorite wrestling heels?
Oh, man. I got so many.
If we start from old school, it's always going to be Roddy Piper.
Roddy
for
Piper,
me.
I was going to say, is
Yeah,
probably the
Roddy
best.
Piper is my all-time favorite. I'm a huge fan of Triple H as well.
Triple H, one of my favorites is a heel. Yes.
Yeah. Eddie Guerrero, when he was a heel,
Yep.
was a good guy or bad guy. He was always my favorite. But as a heel, he was amazing. But I mean, different guys for different things. Like, I love $1 Million Man when he was a heel. I just always thought that the character was obnoxiously hilarious. But I mean, Bobby the Brain Heenan, manager wise, I love anyone that can talk shit.
Yep.
It's not just the actions in the ring, but anyone that can talk shit. It always was kind of my thing. So you mentioned you used to watch wrestling. What was your childhood with wrestling like?
I think it was Hulk Hogan era and then the Stone Cold stuff. And then I kind of faded out after that. But I did, back to Ted DiBiase, I think I still have like a disco ball suit that kind of looked like his suit, you know.
Oh, dude,
Nice.
There you go, dude. You
Yeah,
still got
I
it?
still have that, yeah. It's like a jumpsuit.
Oh, there you
I think
go.
that's what I was wearing in Philly when they were throwing stuff at me. So.
See? There you go. Oh,
Yeah.
you already got the outfit, bro.
Yeah, Ted those guys were classic, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyone that was that good I feel like the heels are better on the mic too.
Yeah.
Always.
Definitely.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I love a good heel, man. Like, we're heels in wrestling. We love a good heel. So I said,
Yeah,
go
heel's the best.
go full on heel mode with that
Yeah,
with
that's
that
a
title,
good-
bro.
that's a very good
For the
idea.
haters, just be an asshole.
There's
Yeah.
a little $1 Million Man figure right up there.
Oh, nice.
Those are literally my very first wrestling figures that I ever owned when I was a kid. There's $1 Million Man, there's Warrior, and there's Honky Tonk Man. It's another one that I liked a lot, Honky.
That's good.
But yeah, man. We want to say, man, thank you for coming and hanging out with us today, bro.
Really appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
We hope you had a good time here with us, man.
I did.
Yeah. It's cool getting to get into the mind of a competitive food eater.
Yeah, and it's very similar. Like I said earlier, the eating in the wrestling is like very similar. You know?
Yeah.
It's like niche, but it's definitely a skill. And what you guys is incredible. It's very athletic, and it's It's its own thing, you know.
I'm gonna be looking out for some deep dish heel champ videos. That's what I'm gonna be looking out for. Yep.
I like the
Champ
sunglasses.
is here.
Just wear the belt and just walking everywhere.
Dude, wear the sunglasses. Wear your fucking that shiny jacket you're talking about
That's
with
good,
the title. Man,
He needs to do the Shawn Michaels championship pose with that.
with a title around, he's naked. The title around his junk and shit, laying down. Yeah, dude.
The Burt Reynolds. You guys have seen the Burt
Yep.
Reynolds photo, right? Yeah.
There you go, bro. See, giving you nuggets,
Thank you, I
man. We're
appreciate
giving
it.
you golden nuggets here.
Well, the worst part about winning was it wasn't even the worst part, but they give you the tray of how many you ate after, which 58 is about 12 and a half pounds of food. And then I think at that point I have like 23 pounds of food and liquid in my stomach. And then they try to put the belt on me. I'm like, oh, guys, just go real. I'm holding it was very
I'm
uncomfortable.
just throw it over my shoulder. All right,
I'm
we're
like,
good.
just don't tighten it too much.
You got some belt extenders?
I didn't want to. Probably didn't need one. Yeah.
Wow.
But no, man. Thanks, brother. Thanks for
cool.
coming and hanging out with us, man. We had a
Much
good time here with
appreciated.
you, man.
Wanna
Yeah,
throw
definitely.
your socials out there
Yep,
where
say
people
yep.
can find you.
Oh yeah, just search my name, Pat Bertoletti, on YouTube, and then I think Deep Dish Eats is my Instagram. But I really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely,
Pardon
man.
me.
So big thanks to Mr. Deep Dish. Yeah, everyone's favorite hot dog eater.
And you guys
Whether
heard
you
it
like
here
it or
first. He
not.
gave you guys nuggets.
There you
That
go.
cheat code in life to extend that stomach.
So big thanks to Patrick for coming hanging out with us, man. Big thanks to our sponsors, the Law Office of Christopher Hoff and the Taco Villa in Villa Park. Patrick, I know you're not drinking, man. I know you got your water bottle.
Cheers.
So we usually sign off with a toast, raising up our glasses, saying "Salud, cabrones." I mean, you got a Latino girl, so you should probably know how to say that a little bit. Salud, cabrones. Yep.
This is where you make her proud and roll that R, bro.
Oh, no. She hates when I try to. Yeah.
All right.
Salud.
So, all right. So, thank you guys again. Thank you guys, Patrick, for hanging out with us today. So, we're gonna sign off by saying 1, 2, 3. Salud, cabrones. We out.